think one of the things that America has to face is the reality that it is an empire.
No, you must use it. You must use it because it make you rebel. Against what?
They were in front of Radio 8, shooting at the station.
No es un crimen defender nuestros propios derechos como pueblos indígenas.
Greetings and blessings. Welcome to part 2 of the Travelogue Media Quarantine Series. I'm Jason Clarl in Quetzaltenango, Guatemala. Today, I'm really excited to have a musical guest and longtime friend of mine on the show. We go way back. And today she's going to share some of her music, past and present. Jenn Gilbert. Welcome to...
Hey, Jay.
Hey, welcome to the Travelogue Media thing.
Yeah, this is a good thing you're doing, man. I was pretty excited to jump into the the podcast, backlog and look at some of your work, man. You are really making a serious effort in your rebel heart there. I love it.
Yeah.
I'm feeling it.
Yeah.
I love it.
Yeah, I had there's another musical a musician that reminds me of the episode I wanted to mention. I don't know if you listened to it, Tato. I still have his guitar. I feel bad. I haven't talked to him in a while. I still have his guitar. He loaned me a guitar. Anyway.
Well, you gotta have a guitar.
I do. It's pretty much, it goes without saying. You just need one.
Bass level stuff. I mean, are you playing drums still? Do you have any music?
I wish.
Projects on there?
I think So I have a guitar and I have a harmonica right now.
Okay.
That's pretty much it. And I think if I did start another instrument, I think I want to take up accordion. That's been on my list for a little while.
Accordion's amazing. You should totally do that.
Yeah, I think so. So let's see. So before we get started, I just want to give a quick plug, a little promo for the Zoom meetups on Friday nights. Our dear friend Roberto put together a virtual happy hour on Fridays at 4 p.m. Pacific time, 7 p.m. Durham time. Mm-hmm. So anyone listening to this who was living in Durham in the early 2000s, please feel free to join up on the happy hour, and I'll put a link to the Zoom call on in the show notes. So look for that. Also on the technical notes side, my equipment, my launch pad is being a little touchy. So if there's any awkward pauses, that must be what it is.
I won't hold it against him.
Okay, good. Thanks.
You won't hold my barking dog against me.
No, it's a nice touch. Yeah, your dog is more than welcome on the show anytime. Okay, so with that out of the way, let's get to it. Jenn Gilbert, good longtime friend, excellent musician. What's on the playlist?
Well, let's see. I think we pulled up. Let me go back to the text that we were on, because we pulled up quite a few different eras. When we were talking about doing this, I was thinking about like doing it by decade, like the 20s, which I recently got from that Dropbox file from the happy hour, a whole bunch of songs that I wrote when I was first starting out, which are mortifying. So I hope they're not on this track. But it's so crazy how things kind of, you really develop your sound, I think, and what you have to say as to the decade of your life. Hopefully when I get to my octogenarian years of songwriting, I'm going to be like, the Enlightenment Buddha talking up there telling very cool little snippet. So I don't know.
Yeah.
I think what do you have queued up there? Do you have some Workers of the World Relax? Maybe let's do some of that. I could feel
you
that.
want to do some of that? I have one of my favorites from that ready to go. But then by all means, if you wanna play another track off that.
No, which one? Which one? I love that record. That's a great record.
Let's see. This one This one is. Hang on. We're gonna do this on the fly. I'm just gonna look. I have everything. Oh yeah.
Misfortune?
I have Chinatown queued up.
Oh, Chinatown's great
like
song.
Chinatown?
Yeah. Put it on. Let's hear it. I haven't heard it in years.
So let's take a listen to
All right.
to Chinatown.
1998, Pickney, when we were living in Nebraska. This is where this comes from.
Okay, so here it is. Okay, so that was
Awesome.
Chinatown from Workers of the World Relax, and I think that's a very appropriate title for these times of ours that we're living in right now.
Yeah, absolutely.
Any sort of background story on that? This was recorded in Lincoln, Nebraska. This was Picknee's first, one of the early iterations. There were several.
This is actually not. This is a later iteration. So we were first Big Shirtless Rob. I don't know if you ever knew that.
Big Shirtless Rob, and that of course is a reference to
The
Simpsons, our favorite.
Yeah, our favorite. Back in we used to spend a lot of time doing those jokes. But Big Shirtless Rob was just me, Randall Gilbert, my husband, and Tim Brooks, our mutual pal there. Kind of connected me and you, actually, Jason.
That's
Tim
right.
did.
That's right.
And so initially we were Big Shirtless Rob, which is a trio, and we were traveling and living in the white truck. And me and Tim and Rand were just driving all over, seeing people and living out of the back of the truck and having fun and playing music. And we recorded a record in Salida, Colorado. It was our first record ever with this guy who really just thought we were something, but we were all just such we were such punks that we didn't care. We were kind of like, okay. He was like, everything I do, I want to try to get a Grammy. And we all just looked at each other and we're like, we're not that good, honey.
We're quite Grammy material at that point.
No, I just will never forget that studio. It was like really nice. And we were like, oh, sweetie.
Yeah.
This is a 3-piece drum kit, and I'm playing on a direct box with an acoustic guitar.
Yeah, you gotta, it's the DIY. You gotta get it done with whatever you got, right?
That's right. So we were Big Shirtless Rob, and then Big Shirtless Rob added Emily Madison, who I'm actually reconnecting with here in the Midwest in the US of A, where I live now. And then we became Picknee with the 4-piece, and then we became Picknee with the 5-piece, which was Kate Sullivan, who was doing the backing vocals on that track. And so there's a tape somewhere in between the Big Shirtless Rob recording that we did with just the 4-piece, and then the 5-piece is The Workers of the World Relax. And then, of course, we moved into Durham, and all of that craziness happened. But yeah, that was a fun time. I was pregnant with Ilsa when I recorded that.
Right. So you have two daughters.
Two kids, yeah, an adult kid and a 14-year-old who's now homeschooling for the rest of her life, I'm pretty sure. I don't think she's going to want to go back to high school.
It's too much fun outside of school, right? Outside of class. It's where all the fun happens, right?
Yeah. I think that she was never, they were, she was she was born on in central Mexico in Michoacan, in our little village house there outside of Zero-Wen, Michoacan. We have a little ranchito, 5 acres, and a little straw bale house. And so she was raised out there in the woods and has kind of a free spirit and, North American or just American full stop stuff. And, my kids are definitely Mexican children. Like they're not, when we came up here to live, it was super culture shock for them. They still have a hard time actually with American culture.
Yeah, I can imagine. It is quite a culture shock,
on
the other side of the border.
Ilsa we came up when we were coming up because we were thinking we were going to, do high school in America, because up to that point, they'd only ever lived in Mexico, and then we lived in Canada. And then when we got back to the U.S., I was like, well, they probably should at least know how to navigate the U.S. It's a big deal in North America. You got to know how to navigate this stuff. So that was my thinking. But as Ilsa will tell the story, she was like, Mom, I never really realized there was meanness in the world until we moved to Nebraska.
Nebraska. There's meanness?
Don't let the smile fool you.
Yeah. Gotta be careful wherever you are.
Yeah. I guess they were raised in a bit of a bubble, a Canadian Michoacan bubble, but
yeah.
So anyway, so that's the culture shock was deep.
Yeah. So have your daughters shown any musical leanings? Have they done their own projects?
They both can sing really well. They have great angelic voices. The younger girl in high school was doing choirs and show choirs and that kind of stuff, and she is excelling in that. She plays cello. They both play uke. They both play piano. But truthfully, Jason, I made them do it. Like people make their kids learn Hebrew or whatever. I just like, you guys are going to learn to play. You know what I mean? That's just my thing. It's like some people have to do catechism. Some people have to learn Hebrew. Some people have to, do whatever. You're going to learn to play an instrument. And so that was my mom thing.
Right.
And so they can play and they have they're good, but I don't know if they love it. You know what I mean? Because they had to go to piano class.
It's hard to say. I think
it's hard to say.
Yeah. There's some musicians that like their parents made them do it and they thanked them for it. And sometimes it's the opposite.
It's the opposite.
It's hard to know. It's hard to know.
I keep thinking they're going to get in a band. Like I'm like, so we can, we can, so you could start this band or you could start that band. And then they're always like, no, Mom, that's your thing. That's not really our thing.
Right. All right. So let's get back to your thing.
Okay.
Well,
sounds good. What are we going to play now?
So Lincoln. Okay. So we're out of Lincoln now. And then we're now, let's head on over to Durham, North Carolina.
Okay. North Carolina.
There's a lot to, unless you want to just jump around into some other stuff.
No,
we don't have to do it.
Let's do it in.
We don't have to do it chronologically, I guess.
No, let's do it chronologically. Let's do the next one. Let's do the Dream Sonar release that you played on.
Okay. Yeah, so that one I have, what do I have on that recording? So there were some other recordings before, like I'm trying to remember now what exactly how it went down exactly, but there were at least a couple other recordings.
Yeah, for sure.
There was a demo. So your husband Randall was drumming at various times, and then he injured his knee.
Yep.
For a while, I wasn't able to drum.
Yep.
And then so I was happy to perform those drum duties.
Step in. Yeah, that was awesome.
And what do I have?
From Dream Sonar. What do you have there?
I have Shangri-La, I think, was actually one of the ones that you went way back.
Yeah. But it never got recorded. Shangri-La didn't get recorded on that was from the 5-piece, but we actually made it a Durham Picknee track. So play that. That's great.
Okay, so let's listen to that one. Okay, Shangri-La.
Yeah, that
from
kind of felt like it was
Dream Sonar.
I felt like there was some relevance there to the current COVID situation. I don't know, Shangri-La. Maybe we come from something better. Maybe there's a bright new future. I mean,
right.
there's some.
I think people
Maybe
are
some relevance
ready.
there.
I think people are ready for the bright new future.
Yeah, I think
They're
so too.
sick of this miserable, whatever it is.
Yeah.
We're not talking about.
Right, the thing that shall not be named. We're not
Right.
discussing.
The
We're
thing
just
that
playing
the
old
thing
tracks.
we're no longer discussing in this moment.
No longer. We're not talking about it.
Yeah, Shangri-La. Okay, so what was I gonna
Cool.
say? I had a comment there, but you have anything? I remember recording this, and this
Me
was
too.
when we very first moved to Durham, and we lived on
Yep.
the house on Trinity,
Trinity. Yep.
and we had
Yep.
one room just full of all the equipment. We took I don't know how long we took to record, but wasn't your brother there to help us?
Oh, you're right. My brother did come. He came up and recorded that
Yeah.
record. That he recorded Dream Sonar for us.
Right.
Yeah, he set it all up in their practice space at Trinity, and we did. We recorded it in that room with his suitcase recording setup at the time. Yeah,
Right.
that was 2000, or what year was that? 2000.
Well, we moved in 2000. Well, I moved in you were there already, and then
Right.
some of us came in 2000, and then we recorded that.
Doesn't it seem crazy though now looking back at those years? Like we used to all move all together from one city to the next.
It's like, okay, now we're on to where's next? Yeah, where are we going? Yeah.
Because we were all in, like, you were in Denver, I was in Denver that when we first met, you know, it was me and you and Tim and Charles and Rand. And then before we were in Denver, we were in San Francisco with Eric and Haas and Eli and Joel and all these other musicians. And then when we decided we were all going to do the Great Southern Experiment, we were like, North Carolina. Okay, everybody.
It was an experiment, wasn't it?
And I was like, okay, where can we afford to go?
That's an important factor there.
Yeah. And so we all ended up in Durham because it had cheap rent.
Right.
I was like,
Right.
okay, where can we go that's not, you know, that's not a major metropolitan area, but has, you know, something close enough to drive to.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
And that's how we chose it, because it was cheap real estate.
Yeah.
And then all that happened.
Durham. So it sounds like you got a guitar.
Oh, I do. I just always
strumming.
have one. I do. I'm always strumming. You know, I'm sitting in my office here, and I have the cello, which I'm trying to play right now, and then I have a viola, and I have my mandolin, and I have my uke and my guitar, and my percussion instruments. I've been obsessively recording with my bandmates on an app called Acapella.
Acapella.
Yeah, it's been so fun because I normally play 3 or 4 nights a week with different projects, and of course this thing that shall not be named has shut down not only all my performances but all the practices. And I've been playing every like this for, you know, it's been a solid 10 years that I've been playing.
Right.
Pretty solid, you know.
You don't stop. You just you're on it.
I just gotta play. So I'm always got a guitar.
And you're in the middle of
hands.
recording right at the moment too, right?
Right. Well, we're just doing these recordings on acapella. So my bands are all like sending tracks around, and we're just making fun recordings so we can keep practicing together and working on solos and parts and harmonies, and, you know, working up new arrangements more than anything.
Right. So now how does this app work for those unfamiliar?
Right. Okay. So it's an iPhone app. So that's one of the bummers, because a lot of my friends have Droid, but it's basically you can do up to 30 squares, I think. Is that how many we can do? I can't remember what the max is, but I've seen some with like huge, like whole choirs at
a zillion.
Yeah, exactly. On I think some Utah choir did a really cool one. Anyway, so you lay down the bass track, like the guitar or whatever, with a click. You can do it with a click. We like to, you know, sometimes do it with a click, and then send it around, and the people can put the vocals on, and then you put the harmonies, and everybody can put the whatever instrument they play, you know, and you send it to the next bandmate, and then they put it on, and then they can do a couple tracks, and then we send it all around, and then Brady bunches it up in squares, you know, and then you can see the whole arrangement with everything at the same time. And the mics are really good, actually. It sounds, you can mix it right there. It has preset mixes for backing vocals or acoustic guitar. So you can actually do a lot of processing right there on the mix. It's really fun.
Cool.
Yeah.
Cool. So we'll get to some of those too. You sent me some links to some of those projects. I don't know if you want to listen to something else first. What else we have here?
Let's see. I don't know. What do you got in front of you? Do you have something from Topography, the second incarnation?
The later Topography. Okay, so that was later was Topography. And
so Pickney disbanded and we reformed as Topography.
Right.
And that was our second band there.
Right. And I don't know the title of the song, and I don't know who does. The funny thing is,
Timmy.
He probably does. I just remember the CD that he gave us, or I had a copy of it at one point. Who knows where it is now? But it just says For Criticisme.
Criticisme.
Yeah, the French.
Or something.
I don't know. I always thought it was the French or something, but But I was never clear on whether that was the actual title of the disc or whether that was just Tim.
That was just Tim.
Okay. Thanks for clearing that up for me. Okay. Well, yeah. Let's listen to that. I actually liked that. And I have to say, like, you have a really good instinct for melody, and this is one of the songs that
cool.
Definitely.
I
think this was one of my favorites from that, and then there are tons, but yeah. So kudos,
all right, let's hear it.
And let's listen to it.
Oh, dude, thank you so much for playing that.
Yeah, I really enjoy that track a lot.
That was
sort of an ode to Durham, wasn't it? I mean, that was like, yeah, this is our crew. We're not.
That was our crew, and that was the ice storm, man.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, that was the ice storm. The ice storm. Do you remember when the power went out? That's November.
Yeah. lots of folks came over to the Wilkerson house.
Well, we had gas heat. Nobody had heat. They all had electric heat.
Yeah,
We
that's
had
right.
gas
That's
heat.
right. Yeah.
And we had a gas stove.
Right.
And I said, all right, everybody, just bring your sleeping bags and come on over and we'll sleep on the floor. And we had probably, I don't know, maybe 30 people sleeping in the house. We had a show. We did a big show.
It was
by candlelight.
It was quite an event.
It was really a really amazing night for me. I think it was one of the best nights of my life, to be that honest with you.
Yeah.
We had, it was like I remember Jonathan Blackwell, we were sitting there washing dishes. We didn't have a lot. We weren't sure about the water situation. So we were like being all careful about the water and like, reusing water for dishes and like had buckets of water on the back porch and all this stuff. Anyway, I was washing dishes with Jonathan Blackwell and he looked over at me and he's like, why can't we always live like this? Why can't we always just be together and like hanging out and everybody cooking and enjoying? And I was like, yeah. Jason. Yeah. That's great. It was great. It was a great couple of days and there was no tension. It was just like, that house was huge. We had plenty of space. So everybody just kind of crashed out and we all lived together until the lights came back on.
Yeah. That's interesting though. It's like, why does it, it shouldn't take something not that an ice storm is a bad thing, but it takes sometimes.
Well, it was then. That was ridiculous.
I guess it was. Yeah. It lasted a little while, I guess.
A long time. We were a week without power. And it was like, whoa! It was the winter, middle of the winter, so there's no heat and no way to for a lot of people, no way to cook or be warm. So this is our town not going down. Hard times in winter weather. We can get together, have a smile, and stay warm.
Yeah.
That lyric slays me. Actually, I'm going to bring that now that you've played that and I have that track in this Dropbox you made. I'm totally going to bring that back because I'm doing a show here for the city. It's called Lincoln Strong. It's on the 23rd of this month. And I'll have to send you a link or something to put in the podcast thing. But we're doing a bunch of musicians are going to do broadcasts from their houses and kind of songs of hope and change and like togetherness. And so I've been writing a couple anthems to try to boost up for that. But I think I'm going to bring that song back and rewrite some of the lyrics for The Thing That Shall Not Be Named and how we're all going to get through it.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah. Let's see where we are on our list here.
Where are we going? Where should we go?
Where should we go from here?
What part of the world should we go to? I could play a song. I've got a song in my head. I played it the other night when we were on a call. It's kind of this is definitely a rebel song.
Okay.
Let's see if I don't know if it'll come through. Do a little mic test here. My guitar. Can you hear my guitar?
Yeah.
So I started playing folk music when we left Mexico. I had a band in Mexico that was definitely a pop band. I was always playing pop music, as you know. And I left Mexico in 2011 with the kids to go up to Canada for a while. And we were in transition before our visas came through for Vancouver. So we were on the West Coast and we were at Eugene, Oregon. And I had nobody to jam with. And of course that was about enough to kill me. But I found a bluegrass jam. And of course, with neighbor Doug, I had played some old time in Durham. So I had
neighbor Doug.
Yeah. Doug, our bestie, Doug Rose. And I had some background in this. So I was like, I'm going to go check this out. And I started playing in these bluegrass jams. And from that time on, I was pretty much, okay, I'm going to be a bluegrass. I'm going to play bluegrass and I'm going to play folk music. And because these are jams that exist in all the cities. And there's like 1,200 songs. You can learn any of the 1,200 songs. Everybody's going to know them. They're super easy to play along with. And the bands are, it's like pickup basketball,
Yeah.
Pickup band. So I started playing bluegrass. And then I had kind of stayed in the folk genre since then. So this is my anthem called Once Upon a Song. Once upon a song, we could imagine the need to hurt the other, my friend. Once upon a song, dead on in the morning, clean enough to eat, breathe, drink, and sleep. fascist souvenir, and you're gonna make a traitor out of me. We all know the million lies you told us. Now we once upon a song we could sing along. Sold us with the word equality. Once upon a song, battles that we won, sacrificed a life for liberty. Here we stand, shaking a hand that holds a right. We were told to that we hold. Don't need to bruise your knees before another scout. Once upon a star, I can sing along. America, you made a fool out of me. Yeah, yeah, you made a fool of me. Making a fool of me. Made a fool of me.
Yes, very nice, very nice. Thank you for sharing that one.
No problem. That one's still kind of a work in progress, but it seems to stick out. So you know how when I travel around and live around, whatever, I always find the peoples, and so we have a really fun. Find the musicians.
Right, find the musicians.
I could say the musician magnet. Like the great group in Montreal, when you came to Montreal, the bluegrass pickers there, they were great people to play with.
Yeah.
But here in Nebraska, I've got a huge, amazing, beautiful group of people I play with. And Tuesday nights, we have a wonderful group called the Chautauqua Choir.
Okay.
Chautauqua Choir, and it's on the street, the Chautauqua Street. And Chautauqua, I think, is a Native American word about sitting and sharing in social settings. Chautauqua. Mm-hmm. I'm not sure about that. You have to double check that, but I think that's the urban myth, at least. Anyway, so Tuesday nights we all get together and we play, and it's all musicians. We don't let anybody record. It's kind of it's a nice thing where like phones and broadcasting, we don't do that there. It's like a real musicians thing where we just play for ourselves. And so we have songbooks that are just like songs, thousands of songs in the songbooks. We have one that's got everybody puts in their original pieces, and I added that one to Chautauqua group. So it's kind of
nice,
kind of nice getting out there a little bit with the people.
Yeah, Once Upon a Song. All right,
Once Upon a Song, man. And it was, we could imagine Once Upon a Song. We could imagine, of course, that's an ode to or a hats off to Imagine.
Yeah,
the song Imagine.
Yeah. So some of those people now, let me see. The link you sent me, Out of the House, is that that's some of those same
That's
people?
a current project. Yeah, that's a current project. That's my Irish. I have 2 Irish projects and a jug band right now that I play in. And then I have another roots quartet that's just taking shape with some people that are just my good friends, and it hasn't got a name yet. But so I've got 4 active projects, but Out of the House is my project with my very best friend Kate Sullivan, who's actually on that. She played keyboard in Picknee when she was here before they moved away. So I've known her since we went to college together here in Nebraska. So Kate Sullivan, her brother, and I, and then Mike Naldrit, who is a wonderful fiddle player from Britain, who we are just so lucky to have. And then Susan, she kind of comes in and out. She has a radio show here in town. And then Matt Losey and Becky Chandler. So we have a nice big group of Irish players, and we have a once a month open Irish session on the second Thursday of every month at a bar where we all just hang out for 2 hours and just, do Irish session where we play, Irish traditional tunes. Mm-hmm. And so out of the session came Out of the House, and it's this just really wonderful project. And we put out a little EP. And so I've got a tune on there called Dreamer. You can play Dreamer.
Dreamer. Okay.
Yeah.
All right. Let's take a listen to that track off of the new EP from Out of the House.
2, 3, 1, 2, 3.
One spring morning in my freshman year, my teacher said to me, when you grow up and choose a trade, what would you like it to be? Tell the class the job that you dream of when you are full grown. My dream's to be a dreamer, and that is my plan. Those are the seeds I've sown.
Yeah.
All right. Dreamer.
Dreamer.
From the new EP.
Yeah.
And where can people find the new EP?
It's on all the streaming platforms, Spotify, CD Baby, iTunes, I think. Out of the House website was being, we had a big CD release party and a website launch and all that on St. Patrick's Day. That all got let's just say it's postponed.
Postponed.
From the thing that shall not be named. But so all the streaming platforms you can listen on Spotify. That's fun. And it's got another track with my buddy Dave singing. He wrote those. These are all original pieces, and then a couple instrumentals. So it's just a 4-song release, so we could have something for festival season next year. We wanted to have a release. We wanted to have a setup so we could apply for some festival shows. So that's Out of the House right now.
All right. So eventually this thing that we're not talking about will go away, and then we can all get back to our normal lives and go to shows and see music again, right?
Golly. At this point, I would just settle for my friends in a room together with a big bottle of tequila. Like I'm a simple girl, J-Rock. I'm a simple girl.
Yeah, well, it's the simple things in life, right? So I've really enjoyed these Zoom calls. These.
We were having so much fun, aren't we?
Yeah.
We're having way too much fun.
Yeah.
I love it. I look forward to it. I mean, I've been invited to quite a few, and they're not nearly as fun as ours. Yeah. I mean, we're just like, nobody's censoring themselves. I think a lot of people are on these Zoom calls for work, so they're not like, letting the jokes
kind of be guarded.
Yeah, exactly. Like with us, we're like when the jokes hit your,
the jokes are flying.
You gotta let them out. You gotta let the jokes out.
No hold back.
Don't hold back. It
Don't
makes it
hold
way
back.
more fun. Way more fun.
Yeah. So it's a good
Yeah.
time. This is what happy hour should be, right?
Right, exactly. It's just a free flow. It's a free flow, non-edited sort of like exchange with friends, right? I mean,
Exactly.
I think everybody's feeling incredibly vulnerable, I think, and so maybe not as comfortable, letting their tongues wag in a way that might be considered offensive. But
Right.
I'm pretty sure our crew can't really. I don't know. I feel pretty comfortable with y'all. So
Yeah. Well,
Yeah.
I'm trying to figure out. There's a new plugin for this. I'm recording this on Reaper, and there's like this new
Oh,
plugin
cool.
that's like a jam plugin that
Oh, nice.
lets you connect to live servers, I think, and then you can. I'm gonna have to look into it, so I'll give you. I'll
Awesome.
get back to you on that.
I have Reaper. I mean, I have an old version of Reaper.
Yeah.
I'd have to re-download it, but
Yeah.
I think that's what we've all been sitting here trying to figure out what the piece of hardware is, a plugin or whatever, so we can
Yeah.
have actual practices online. But it doesn't work on Zoom. It doesn't work at all. We've tried.
Yeah.
You can't. It's not a two-way street.
Yeah.
One mic at a time.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So if you can't be with people in person, that's the next best thing. So
Yeah.
get it.
Yeah, that's why the acapella app,
Yeah.
so people can record a little bit here and there.
So
yeah,
maybe
cool.
maybe I'll put a link to the acapella and links
Yeah.
to the EP and any other
Sure.
info.
Yeah, this
where-
live stream
yeah.
show.
Yeah. And any other
Yeah,
place.
this live stream show is going to be fun.
All right. Well, what else? I think for the
Let's see.
there's a couple other things I have that you sent
Okay,
over.
go ahead.
I don't know which one. If there's one, should I play first or? And these are
why don't you
both
play the-
from the app. These are both recorded
Right.
from the
Why
app.
don't you play the accordion one, just because we talked about accordion already. And this is also Kate, who is my main collaborator here. It's called Bold Riley.
Okay. I think I
Have you-
know the
have you
one you're
seen that?
talking about. Yes. Let me see if I can get that
Yeah.
one ready to.
That's a traditional Irish.
Okay. So let's and this one is called
Bold Riley.
Bold Riley. Okay. So let's take a listen.
Yeah.
It rains all day long. Bold Riley, ho, Bold Riley. And the northern winds, they blow so strong. Bold Riley, ho, it's gone away. Goodbye, my sweetheart. Goodbye, my dear old Bold Riley, ho, Bold Riley. Goodbye, my darling. Goodbye, my dear old Bold Riley, ho, it's gone away. But come on, Mary, don't lose love. Bold Riley, ho, Bold Riley. Come one stopping day, you'll be drinking rum. Bold Riley, ho, has gone away. Goodbye, my sweetheart. Goodbye, my dear
Very lovely.
Right on. Yeah, that's Kate singing. Kathy Sullivan.
Yeah, and she
plays accordion.
Yeah, and she was with playing with the early Pickney records, or one of them. Yeah.
Yep. That one that Chinatown. She played the keyboard on that.
Okay. Yeah. Right on. So come.
Actually, she wrote Shangri-La.
Oh.
She was the original. Shangri-La was her tune.
Okay.
So yeah, well, she's one of my main gal collaborators, actually.
Okay.
And she's the funniest human being to ever walk the planet.
So it's good to have humor in there too.
Gotta have it.
Yeah.
Gotta have it.
Okay.
What now? What should we do now?
Well, we got one more.
Okay, what is it?
From this other group there's some other
Oh,
group.
right. Yeah, the boys. Yeah, great.
And this is not okay, yeah, so this is a different couple different people you're playing with.
Yeah, so these are two of my collaborators who I play with in different things. Brian Gerkensmeyer, he plays the bass and the lead guitar on this track. And he is the first dude who I played with here when I moved back to Nebraska from Montreal. And I was really dry. I couldn't find anybody. People in Nebraska are not like, hey, come and jam with us. They
Right.
didn't have any bluegrass jams.
Right.
It was all behind closed doors. I couldn't figure out. And it was about 2 months. I was completely without musicians and I was losing it. So I found a flyer that was like flat picking workshop with Brian Gerkensmeyer. And I was like, I'm in. I'm going to go to flat picking workshop.
Wow.
So I went to flat picking workshop and Brian was sitting there and I was doing we were picking something. And then he said, all right, we're going to do a singer. We're going to work on some flat picking, like some ballad stuff. And he says, does anybody want to sing a song? I was like, sure, I'll sing something. I can remember what I sang. Tennessee Waltz. I sang Tennessee Waltz. We did a waltz. And he was like, after the class, he said, hey, are you working with anybody? And I was like, no, I'm desperate for a band. Who are you? And so we found out, we went back in our histories, and it turns out he is my cousin's childhood friend, and their farm was right next to our family farm. We went back to and I was like, oh my God, you're that guy. We used to steal silver dollars out of my grandma's jewelry box together. He's like, oh my God, I know you.
Small world.
So I ended up going to practice, and we formed a band called Cattywampus Bluegrass, and that was my introduction to the Nebraska music players. And so Brian was real important. And then the mandolin player in this is Terry Keefe, and I play with him in a band called Paddywhack, which is an Irish project of some renown here in town.
All right. Well, thanks for Brian for getting you plugged back in and making music again, right?
I know, God, if I wouldn't have met him, I probably would have shot myself.
When you're going through music withdrawals, Brian to the rescue.
Really, it's really serious when you haven't got any love there. It's harsh.
Yeah, I can imagine.
Yeah.
Well, okay. Well, let's listen to
right.
it. Is this what's the name of this track?
This is Sitting on Top of the World. Sitting on Top of the World. Yep.
Okay, here it is.
Was in the spring, one sunny day. My good gal left me, Lord, she went away. Well, now she's gone, but I don't worry, 'cause I'm sitting on top of the world. Mississippi River runs deep and wide. That woman I'm loving's on the other side. Well, now she's gone, but I don't worry, 'cause I'm sitting on top of the world. Don't you come here running, holding out your hand. Gonna get me a woman just like you got a man. Come on, Daddy, you know I need you so. Well, now she's gone, and I don't worry, 'cause I'm sitting on top of the world. You don't like my peaches? Stay out of my tree. Stay out of my orchard and let my peaches be. Well, now she's gone, but I don't worry. I'm sitting on top of the world. It was in the spring, one sunny day. My baby left me, Lord, she went away. Well, now she's gone, but I don't worry, 'cause I'm sitting on top of the world.
Yeah.
I love that little laugh at the end, right? Was whose phone was that?
That was mine.
You're busy,
It
you know.
was
You got
fun.
calls. You can't be popular.
I was laughing because that was the first time I got on that app, and I had been, you know, you get a little, when you're playing with people all the time and you're constantly getting to enjoy the collaborative music experience as part of your lifestyle. You know, that was my first time I had played with anybody in a while. So I was like, oh, dude, this is going to save me through this. This app is going to save me. So I realized it in that moment. I was like, I'm okay. I'll be all right.
Yeah. So if you guys got an iPhone, get that app going and start bust out the guitar.
Yeah, start
the
making
mandolin
music.
or the harmonica, or whatever you have handy.
Yeah.
You're in your little bunker or your wherever you are. Hopefully you're safe and you can jam out with some other folks on.
Send them to me. JENN5 is my username. JENN5, and then my email's JENN5doer. My maiden name Jenn5doer. Gmail, and you can add me as a collaborator, and I'll play on your tracks.
Awesome. Yeah. Okay.
Yeah.
We'll do that. We'll put. Be sure to check for the links in the show notes for all the music we've been talking about in the app, and anything else. Anything else you wanna
I don't know.
drop
That
in
sounds
here?
pretty good. I don't know. Just hang in there, everybody. We'll get through this and use this time to write songs and poetry, or just sit on your sofa and eat chips. Either way, it's completely fine.
All right. Whatever you got to do to get through this
That's right, man.
Totally acceptable.
Stay real, man.
Please stay healthy and safe, y'all.
Yeah, no doubt.
Well, Jen.
Well, J-Rock,
Gilbert,
thanks, son.
you're welcome back on the podcast, whatever it is, anytime you want. And it was a pleasure to have you on and share some share some jams with you.
Totally.
Okay.
Yeah. All right, dude. Well, take care of yourself down there, and cuídense mucho. Te quiero. Y nos vemos no sé cuándo, pero ya sabes.
Sí.
¿Eh?
Igualmente.
¿Sale?
Que todo sea
Sale,
amor.
pues.
Que todo sea amor.
Qué rico. Bueno, chido. Okay.
Okay.
Okay, sale. Bye.
Okay, bye. And that's gonna conclude this edition, the quarantine edition, or the quarantine series. Well, hopefully this series won't last too long. Follow Travelog Media on all the social media stuffs. Stay safe and sound. And that's gonna do it. Que todo sea amor. Walk tall, live free.